Here we go. Look at this thing go. Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of MeatballCraft. In between episodes, I had to do a little update of our thermoelectric generators down here. Turns out the way I set them up last episode was slightly wrong. I didn't realize that they had to have the liquids on opposite sides. I mean, it kind of makes sense when you think about it. But I had the pyrotheum here, and the cryotheum here and here, which meant that they weren't actually generating power. But I fixed that. They're all generating now, and I added in some extra buckets of both the cryotheum and the pyrotheum, so that each of these thermoelectric generators now have both sides covered. So it's pretty good. I think it's generating us a good amount. Haven't had any issues yet. I put all these thermal expansion machines up here. I made a couple extras like the redstone furnace, and made a energetic infuser here that we can use to charge items, which will hopefully come into our plans later this episode. And of course the induction smelter, which is great for some of those recipes that need a couple things. Other than that, I have switched my main food source to bento owls because they're EMCable, so I can get as many as I want, really. So we can get as many as we want, and they're actually pretty decent source of food. We'll of course probably get better ones later down the track. I need some raw fingerfish to get this one, but we haven't fought an Elder Guardian yet. That's right. And the other thing I did was upgrade our bag from the little backpack satchel thing that we had, and now we have a alchemical bag, so it's way bigger, as you can see. This kind of fits our tools and all the crap that we don't always use. You can see the recipe for here is in the elite crafting table. Just a bunch of woven cloth, alchemical chests, high covalence dust, and these dark matter balls. And the woven cloth is straightforward. Holly top petals, which is just a plant I can bone meal. The dark matter was probably the most expensive thing, just because it's a bit of EMC, 139,000. And it's just some eternalist fuel around a block of diamond. But of course, once we make one of these, we just put it in the transmutation table and we can get as many as we want. Speaking of that, you'll see we now have 7 million EMC, which is quite a bit more than we had last episode. And it's actually because I went down and grabbed all the diamonds that we've been getting from our mob farm. And it was like 900 or something, which is real decent. And just threw them all in here just so that we have the EMC. So that's great. I mean, dark matter balls, 52 is heaps. Yeah, so that's awesome. I have quite a plan for this episode. I even made a clipboard, so we can have a look at this. Our goal, void dimension. I want to create the void dimension. I want to be able to start making our base that we're going to use for pretty much the whole playthrough. But in order to make the void dimension, we do need to make an ME controller. I think I talked about this a little bit at the end of last episode, but portal to the void is what we need. This, of course, needs a ME controller. It also needs these empowered void crystals. ME controller, elite crafting table recipe. Most of this we should be able to get eventually. The chipsets will be interesting. We'll need to build one of these assembly tables and give it some lasers and power. And then, of course, as well for the portal to the void, we need the empowered void crystals, which need the empowerer. And all of these need a bunch of emberstone and netherite from the nether, so we'll need to do some mining there. And then, in order to make finding those a bit easier, I was thinking I'll make a scanner. This should be pretty straightforward, and this is why I made the energetic infuser over here, because we can use that to charge it up. And we'll use the scanner with the block module to find these ores a bit more easily. So yeah, that's the plan for this episode. I'll leave the clipboard up here and we can tick stuff off as we go. And we'll start with the scanner. So I'll get some resources together and we'll craft this bad boy. So making the scanner, Pretty straightforward. It's just like some iron bars, gold, iron, redstone, quartz. Boom. Scanner. And we should be able to charge this by putting it in the energetic infuser. Yep, that's charging up. And while that's charging up, I would like to make a scanner module for the block. And this is straightforward, just stone and a blank scanner module. The only thing with this is that we need some cactus green, which I don't think we've actually harvested any cactus yet. So I will need to try and find a desert. Have a quick look on the map, see if I've explored anywhere already that might have a desert. I feel, yeah, there's a desert down here. So I'll have to just go for a quick little pop over to the desert and grab myself some cactus. And here we are. That was pretty quick. $44, that's probably enough. Teleport home. We'll smelt a bunch up in our redstone furnace. And we can make the blank scanner module. Grab a stone so we can turn this into the block module. And our scanner's all charged up. I should be able to just place this module in there, I think. Use on a block to configure. Yeah, configured block granite. Put that in. We scan. Oh, there's a lot of granite around. Look at that though. That works great. And hopefully I can reconfigure this to something else. Yeah, I can. Easy. Oh, this is going to be sweet. So I think out of the ores that I need from the nether, emberstone was one of them. So I'll grab one of those. And the other was the netherite. But I actually haven't found any of this, so I can't I can't currently scan it. But it does apparently appear in the nether, either down really low or up really high. So we shall head to the nether. See if we can find some of this netherite. So I'm thinking I'll just dig down from the safety of my little enclosed space here, rather than brave the great outdoors of the nether. And we're trying to get down to Y pretty much 0, I think. So if I just mine down as much as I can. Looks like the highest chance is at Y level 10, which is this one here. So I will fill this out. And this is kind of the level we should be mining. I feel like we might run into some lava lakes and stuff, but we'll go for it anyway. Pretty much just looking for netherite ore. I imagine it's pretty rare. Oh, there's one. Look at that. Netherite ore. Pick that up. Oh, there's a couple. Sick. 2 netherite ore. I just configured the scanner module to netherite ore. If I throw the module in there and we do a little scan, look at that. That's going to make it easier, isn't it? Oh, it's kind of rare though. There's some down here. Yeah, there we go. I'm not exactly sure how many we need, so I'll just mine a bunch. So we made it back. I put the scanner onto charge in the energetic infuser, and we've got quite a bit of emberstone and netherite ore. I added the little bit that we had in here. We got a few other ores too, but nothing really of note, I don't think. So I want to see how we can get the most out of these, because it's pretty annoying to get the ores, so I would be keen to get more. From the looks of it though, we can use a pyro concentrator augment on our induction smelter. We can get up to 4 per ore with some cinnabar, of course. Well, we do have a cinnabar ore. Can I turn this into the type of cinnabar that I want? Yeah, so this will be a slight detour off our plan, but I think it'll be worth it. I need to get the cinnabar. I'm thinking, because I made a fluid transposer, and I think I can use a little bit of cryothium. Yeah, the gelid cryothium on this ore to make some cinnabar. So I'll melt down a little bit of this cryothium, the usual snowballs and redstone. I've made a bunch of this recently, actually. I think 2 will probably be enough. I'll melt that down. I think I'll pick up this energetic infuser for now, and we'll replace it with the fluid transposer. Because then we can auto output this into the fluid transposer. Yeah, sweet. Oh, that was more than we needed. Put the cinnabar in. That should give us the 4 actual cinnabar. And this, of course, we can teach to our amazing EMC transmutation table. And I can just grab a stack. Easy as. It's amazing. Now, the other thing I need to get the most out of these is, of course, the blazing pyrotheum. I need to make a bunch more pyrotheum dust. I'll do a bit of prep for the rest of this, and I'll come back to you. So I think we're pretty much ready to process these ores. Just need to make this augment pyro concentrator. So this is for the induction smelter. You can see over here, induction smelter. Now, I think to put an upgrade in here, I also need to upgrade the machine. So I've got this hardened upgrade kit, which upgrades that, and that should give me an augmentation slot so I can throw in this pyro concentrator. And you'll see that we now have a fluid section in the induction smelter. And with the magma crucible here, I can set it to auto output to the left. But hopefully that'll automatically go in there. I guess we'll see. And in the magma crucible, I'm going to put a bunch of pyrotheum dust. We can actually probably see here whether the fluid manages to get in. Oh yeah, seems to go in, so that's good. And now inside this induction smelter, I'll lock the metallurgical flux slot. I'll throw in cinnabar and the netherite. And I'm pretty sure this should give us like 4 ingots. Yeah, look at that. 4 netherite ingots per ore. That's huge. And I'll do the emberstone after this. But that's crazy. I will set it to output to the bottom. Yep. So it should automatically output the netherite and the rich slag that we get. And I need to also put in the emberstone, which I'll put in the top chest here. And we'll set that to input, auto input. So once this ore runs out, it should just automatically fill up with the emberstone. I will grab a little bit more cinnabar. So good being able to EMC it. And if I put that in there, does that automatically suck into the... Yes, it does. Cool. So that'll keep the cinnabar topped up. When the netherite ore runs out, it'll fill it up with emberstone ore. And we should get... Does that work the same? Surely. Yeah, 4 of that with the cinnabar. Cool. That's so good. 4 ingots per. I can't believe that, really. So I'll have to leave this going for a little while, of course. I think I've worked out a pretty close to the right amount of pyrotheum we'll need. So should just be able to just leave this bad boy going and we'll come back to a pile of netherite and emberstone. Which means, if I have a look at our clipboard here, we made the scanner, we made the block upgrade for it, the charger we already had, I made that earlier. We found netherite, we found emberstone, and just like that, we're almost finished our checklist for the episode. I say almost finished, I think these last 4 items are going to take much longer than the first 5, but, you know, we're on our way. And not too much later, look at that. Almost 2 stacks of netherite, 3.5 stacks of emberstone, and we've got rich slag as well, which was a side product of that, which you can throw into the EMC pile. I'm currently smelting up a bunch more conductive iron so that we can make the conduits to plug in these assembly table and empower. After thinking about it a bit, I think I'm going to do it in a different order to what we have on the list here. I think I'm going to do the empower first, because I can sort of build it, we place it down, we empower the things we need, and then I can break it down and we can replace everything with the assembly table, because they have kind of similar setups with sort of the big table in the middle and little things around it, the display stands. So I'm thinking I'm going to dig down here and I'll make it sort of a little bit lower underground here, because then it's easy access to the power. So I'll make a little room here. So now I've got the area set up. It's not quite symmetrical just because I couldn't destroy the floor over here, but that's right. I've also hooked up the energy conduits that go underneath all these spots, and they hook up to the back of this where we've got the power coming out of the thermoelectric generators. So the first thing I need to make for the empower is these display stands. We need 4, 1 for each side of the multi-block structure, but we also need one to make the empower. So I need to make 5 all up. I think I've got everything I need. These aesthetic green blocks and aesthetic quartz are specifically in Actually Additions material, and they're made with one of these atomic reconstructors. I made one. We found them in the village a while back, if you remember that. But they have a laser, pops out, and if I place blocks in front of them, the laser will turn that block into the block we need. And I've got a heap of this. I wonder if I can actually just throw it down like that. Oh, yeah, I think that worked. Yeah, that's way faster. So I've got those. I need pretty much just a bunch of these advanced coils now. They're pretty straightforward. Gold nuggets around a basic coil, which is redstonia crystal and black quartz. Usually to make the redstonia crystal, we use the atomic reconstructor on redstone, but we actually had a bunch, I think just from chests and stuff. So I was able to just use those. And that should be everything we need to make 5 of these display stands. And then for the actual empower, I'll start throwing some of the stuff in. So we need a display stand, redstonia crystals. There's some of our ember stone that we got. Then I just need a couple of aluminium brass, iron casings, and then the double battery. Yeah, they use these Inori crystals, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's just iron in that atomic reconstructor. So I will throw a bunch down here. Just like that. And we'll need another redstonia crystal and some black quartz, and I might even convert some more redstone here since we might run out. Cool. So we need a basic coil. I need to turn that into a advanced coil. I think I'll actually need 2 of those. Yeah. So we'll make another. So it's those 2, and then the single battery. just Inori crystals, advanced coils, and a Restonia crystal. And then the double battery is pretty much the same thing, but with a battery at the top. So that goes in the middle there, I think. And we need a couple aluminium brass and iron casings. I'm pretty sure I had a bunch of iron casings, yep. And I was just smelting up some aluminum brass. So we should be able to make the Empower. Cool. So as I said, these come down here, Empower in the middle, and then the display stands go all the way around, and they'll be charging up through the conduits under the ground. And what we're needing is 4 of these empowered void crystals. And that's using a void crystal and then just some flint, stone, ink sac, and charcoal. It's pretty straightforward. Void crystal, yeah, it's just coal in the atomic reconstructor. So this is really, oh, we've already got some void crystals anyway. Super easy. So I just need these stone. I should have some flint. Can we use regular coal? And of course, ink sacs. Figure I might as well use charcoal, just in case that doesn't work. So these are all powered up from the looks of it. So void crystal in the middle. Then we got ink sac, charcoal, flint, and stone. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Oh, probably need an empty hand. Boom. Empowered void crystal. Now I'll just do that 3 more times. And there we have it, our 4 empowered void crystals to make the portal to the void. Now this setup I'm not too worried about. I'll probably just pick it up because we'll find a better place for it when we make a proper base. So that is something else we can check off our checklist. We skipped the assembly table there, so we're ticking off the Empower. We got that done. So now we just need to sort out the assembly table. So this is what we're going to use to make the chipsets that are in here. And I'm sure this is going to come up just all the time that we're going to need to make these chipsets. So I need to make, it looks like an assembly table and a bunch of these lasers. I'm not sure how many I actually need. The more lasers, the faster it is. Maybe I'll start with just making a few. I just need to make some of this iron alloy. I don't have any of that at the moment. And then it's just lead, iron, and something else. Man, that looks like it can be anything. Lead, iron. I'm pretty sure I saw that I can use tin. And then we'll grab our simple alloy smelter. We'll need to plug this in somewhere. Yeah, I mean, that looks like it's working. And we get 3 per smelt, so that'll get through eventually. We do need quite a bit of it. 4 blocks for each laser and 4 for the assembly table. And there we go. It's been a little while now. I loaded up the small storage crate with a bunch of the ingredients, so we've actually got quite a bit of this iron alloy, which is great. I had a little look at the uses for this, and it's kind of hard to tell. It seems like you can kind of use it as iron in most recipes, but in terms of the block, the only uses I can see are to make these assembly tables, so I'll probably end up just using most of these. So I think I'll make, after the 1 assembly table, maybe we'll do 12 lasers. That's probably pretty good bet. So I'll grab a bunch of the Restonia crystal, the Ember stone, and the block of diamonds that we need to make the assembly table. Oh, of course, we need to make the diamond gear first. In the elite crafting table, I can make the assembly table. And follow that up with a bunch of lasers. This alchemical bag really messes with the craft. Cool. And we've still got a bunch of emberstone left over. Still a bunch of iron alloy. I'll turn those back into ingots just so I can throw them in here. And time to plug this all in. Assembly table in the middle. And then I'll have to dig out a couple sides of these. Cool. Now, the two type of chipsets I need for this is diamond chipsets and redstone chipsets. I also need quartz chipsets actually. So this is just a bunch of redstone and then diamonds and quartz. I think if I can, I'm gonna try and make like a stack of each. Redstone chipset, there we go. Look at this thing go. It is pretty slow. I think it's gonna take quite a while to make the whole stack here. I guess because I don't have that many lasers. And I'm sure it's probably actually bottlenecked by the amount of power too, maybe. Although they seem all pretty full, or a constant amount anyway. So yeah, not much more to do here than just wait. I have just quickly made a vacuum hopper, just so that when this thing crafts the thing and throws it out, it gets sucked up into the vacuum hopper rather than the risk of despawning. So I can just kind of leave this going and it'll just passively turn the redstone into redstone chipsets, and then I'll fill it up with the diamond for the diamond chipsets and the quartz for the quartz chipsets. Well, our assembly table is doing its work. I was thinking we should start looking at some of the other things we'll need here. And for the ME controller, I think the main other thing that's going to be a pain is these pure Fluix crystals, because we need to grow these from seeds. And to make the seeds, we need some Fluix dust, sand, and I think the seeds take quite a while to grow, based off the tooltip anyway. So I've charged up a bunch of Certus quartz. I charged it up in the energetic infuser. You can just throw Certus quartz in there and it'll charge up. And then I've got some nether quartz and redstone, and we just need to throw this in some water. What if I can actually just throw it into the water I have here? That works. Sick. And I'll keep aside, I need at least one for the energy acceptor. I'll keep aside 4 for now. And the rest of these I'm going to throw through the pulverizer. Make sure this isn't outputting to the right. And this will pulverize it down into Fluix dust, which of course we can mix with sand to get our seeds. I'm thinking 12 is probably enough for now. It's just taking a little while, you know. Throw that back in there. So with this 12 Fluix dust and some sand, actually I think I need to do that in the elite crafting table. There we go. We've got 36 Fluix seeds. That should be enough. And these of course just go in water. I probably won't do it in there. Maybe I'll just put it over here. Fill this up with some water, and then I'll throw the seeds in here. Now, I'll let that go just for a little bit, just so I can see if the percentage goes up at all. See how slow this actually is. How about that? Nope, still 0.0. Looks like it is going to be a really long time. That's alright. We're waiting for this to do stuff anyway. These other recipes like the nether quartz redstone and the diamond redstone take so long. We just don't have the power to kind of get this thing running real quick, I don't think. That's alright. It's a waiting game. We got time. I did have a look at making the crystal growth accelerators, but unfortunately it looks like they need ME glass cable, which needs quartz fiber, which we can only make with these extended crafting. It's like a multi-block. Which, yeah, I mean, we might be able to do it. A bunch of mithril. Oh, black iron. That's not too bad, actually. Maybe we do need to do that, because I don't know if these are even going to grow without any accelerators. Fuck it. Let's go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, just like that. I've made a crafting core here. Pretty easy. Elite catalyst, some black iron. I hadn't made a black iron frame before, but it's just glass as well as more black iron. Pedestals, same thing. Just a bunch of black iron, really. Mithril plate was the only other thing. If you remember, mithril was the one that we got from the nether. And usually I make plates with the hammer, but with the mithril, it didn't let me. So I pretty much just had to make a plate cast in here and cast it out with the smeltery. But it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't too hard. And I think I have to give this thing power, so I'll place that down and place the pedestals around it. And then we just need our quartz dust, our clear glass, and ascended jade. Look at that. We have some quartz fiber. I'll get some more glass and probably do it another few times. Now, I'm thinking I'll make 4 of these crystal growth accelerators, which means I need 8 glass cable. Can I get 8? Oh yeah, easy. We get 4 per. And I also need 4 Fluix blocks. Don't think I quite have enough Fluix for this, so I will grab some more. Get those charged up in the water here. Cool. That should be plenty. I only need to make another couple. And with a bunch of glass that I can turn into quartz glass and some iron. There we go, 4 crystal growth accelerators. Now, to get power to these is kind of going down even a little bit more of a rabbit hole. We need to make the energy acceptor. It's not too bad. We need to make the energy acceptor for the ME controller anyway, so I'll kind of just make it and then we can break it and use it for the ME controller. I think we've got all the resources though, so it shouldn't be that bad at all. I've been smelting some manulin up here, so we've got a decent amount. So, elite crafting table, energy acceptor. Oh, alchemical bag messing us up. Look at that, energy acceptor. And then over here, I'm actually going to pick all these up because I kind of want to put the energy acceptor here. And I think this thing has such a big buffer of power that it's just going to be sucking up energy forever. So energy acceptor down here. Of course, we need some cable coming out of the energy acceptor, and then the growth accelerators can go on top. I'll build up some wood planks here just temporarily so that we can see what's going on in here. I'll grab our seeds and the water. How are the seeds going? 5%. Not bad. See how fast they go with these accelerators. Throw some water in there, and then the seeds in there. And I think that should be speeding it up pretty well. I'll check it shortly, see if it's made any progress. So it's 5% when we put it in. Oh, 15. Oh, this thing's speedy. I'm just gonna throw these in and wait for them, really. We can watch them grow. There we go. Look at that. 36 pure Fluix crystal. I mean, with that, I think we have everything we need to make the ME controller. Just need to smelt up some skystone blocks. And I think I will actually need to pulverize some as well for the portal to the void. I'll pick up the... Ooh, whoops. As I was saying, I'll pick up the growth accelerators and the energy acceptor because we will need that. And then I think it's just some netherite, purifluix, manulin, our chipsets, and the smelted skystone. And look at that. We can make an ME controller. Oh, a chemical bag. Get out of there. ME controller. No way. That's a crazy milestone. I can't believe we're just using it straight away to make a portal to the void. And with this 4 skystone dust, I'll grab our 4 empowered void crystals. Got enough quests popping off here. They just keep coming. I won't wait for them. Portal to the void. Wow. Look at that. We made it. We did it. The goal of this episode has been completed. We'll check our clipboard here. Look at that. Assembly table. We did that. ME controller did that. And now we have a void dimension. And many, many achievements. I mean, we even did so much more than was on this list. Like making the whole crafting core pedestal setup and the crystal growth accelerator. It's been a huge episode. Not much for it now, but to check out our void. Look at that. Wow, these achievements, they really just don't end, do they? I'm trying to talk about the void dimension here, achievements. What are you doing? There we go. All right. Look at this. Look at our void dimension. Oh, we're going to make a base here. It's going to be sick. Stoked. Oh, stoked with this progress. All right, well, I mean, we achieved our goal this episode, so it's probably good a time as any to wrap up. Bit of a longer episode, but I had a great time, actually, learning all these different crafting mechanics and figuring everything out. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment. What did you think? If you have any tips or things I can improve around the new base, then let me know. And I will see you in the next episode.